My name is Chuka, and I never imagined that serving my country for 1 year could turn my life upside down. I stepped off the bus into the dusty compound of Umuna's secondary school, my bag heavy on my back, heart pounding, not from the journey, but from the strange feelings settling over me. The headmistress, Mrs. Ogbonna, greeted me warmly, her eyes sharp and calculating. "Chuka, welcome to your service year," she said, voice calm but firm. I nodded, unsure if her smile hid something. Then I saw her, Miss Efoma, the young teacher with a soft voice and eyes that seemed to see through me. She was laughing with a student when our eyes met, and something in her gaze made my stomach twist. It was wrong, I knew it, but my heart refused to listen. Days passed, and I started noticing things about her that made me both nervous and curious. She had this way of looking at me when no one else was watching, a glance that lingered just enough to make my heart race. During breaks, she would ask me to help her carry textbooks or arrange exam papers. Her touch was light, almost accidental, but enough to leave my hands tingling. One afternoon, as we were organizing the library, a shelf wobbled. I reached to steady it, and our hands brushed. She didn't pull away. Her eyes met mine, and I felt like the world had stopped. I knew it was dangerous, forbidden even, but the pull between us was magnetic, and it terrified me. I tried to focus on my duties, but every day felt heavier. Miss Efoma started talking to me about life outside school, her dreams, her fears, the loneliness of teaching in a rural town. I listened, captivated, and in return shared parts of myself I had never told anyone. The conversations blurred the lines of professionality. One rainy evening, the school was empty, and she asked me to help with grading. "It's okay if it takes a while," she said softly, voice trembling. I noticed how her hand rested near mine on the table. My pulse quickened, my thoughts racing. I should have left, I should have walked away, but desire had already planted its seed. That night, in the quiet classroom, with rain drumming against the windows, we crossed a line neither of us could ignore. One touch became two, and suddenly the space between us disappeared. I felt guilt clawing at me, yet I couldn't stop. Every glance, every whispered word made the tension unbearable. When it was over, we pulled away, breathless, hearts pounding. I sat there, staring at the floor, the enormity of what we had done sinking in. She whispered, This can't happen again." But even as I nodded, I knew we were already trapped in something dangerous, something that could destroy us if anyone found out. Weeks passed. The secret we shared became a weight pressing down on my chest. I smiled at other teachers, joked with students, but inside I felt hollow. Every time I saw her glance in my direction, my stomach tightened. She seemed both happy and guilty, a contradiction that mirrored my own emotions. Then the whispers started, students noticing odd behavior, teachers exchanging subtle glances. I panicked, imagining the worst. I avoided her in the corridors, but our eyes always met. Every moment together was a mixture of longing, fear, and regret. I realized that desire was a dangerous game, and we were both playing without rules. One afternoon, the principal called me into his office. "Chuka, there are rumors," he said quietly, eyes searching mine. My heart dropped. I tried to stay calm, to play innocent, but guilt burned through me like fire. The principal didn't accuse, but the warning was clear. I returned to my duties, tense and jittery. Miss Efoma was waiting near the staff room door, expression unreadable. "They are talking," she whispered. My stomach twisted. The thrill of our secret was gone, replaced with fear and dread. I knew we had to act carefully, or everything we had would be exposed. One evening, as I was leaving the staff room, someone knocked gently on the door. Miss Efoma appeared behind me. "Chuka, it's her," she whispered. Her voice was panicked, eyes wide. The visitor was a senior teacher, known for strict discipline. She looked at us with suspicion, her gaze sharp. My heart raced. Every choice we had made flashed before me like a warning. I knew our secret could not stay hidden much longer. The walls of the school suddenly felt smaller, the air heavier, and my future uncertain. Rumors spread faster than we could control. Students whispered in the corridors, and other teachers began asking questions. One morning, the headmistress confronted Miss Efoma. "Chuka, I know something is going on," she said firmly. "You must tell me the truth." Miss Efioma's hands shook, and I could see her panic. Later, she pulled me aside. "Chuka, I think something has happened," she whispered. My stomach sank. The consequences of our actions were now unavoidable. Every heartbeat felt louder, every breath heavier, as I realized we had created a storm we could no longer hide from. The principal called us both into his office. The tension in the room was suffocating. "Chuka, Miss Efoma, I've heard things," he said. I felt my knees go weak. Miss Efioma's voice trembled. "Sir, we didn't mean for this to happen." She looked at me, and I saw fear, shame, and regret all at once. I swallowed hard, knowing that our secret was now out, and there would be no easy way back. The weight of our choices pressed on me, and I realized we had crossed a line that could never be undone. The following week, disciplinary meetings began. Parents were informed, and the school was buzzing with whispers. Miss Efoma faced suspension, while I was given a warning, but the moral cost was heavier than any punishment. I spent nights reflecting on every decision, every glance, every touch that led to this point. Desire had clouded my judgment, and I had learned, painfully, that temptation carries consequences far beyond the moment. Every smile, every word, every secret had consequences I could not escape. Weeks later, things began to settle. Miss Efoma left the school for a short leave, and I focused on my duties, teaching and mentoring students. I still felt the shadow of what had happened, but I tried to turn the experience into a lesson for myself: control, responsibility, and morality. I realized that human desire is powerful, but discipline and conscience are stronger. I vowed never to let temptation compromise my life or others' trust again. The lessons I learned were painful, but necessary. By the time my service year ended, I had grown in ways I never expected. I had learnt about responsibility, consequences, and the dangers of desire unchecked. Miss Efoma returned, changed as well, and we spoke once, quietly, about boundaries and choices. As I boarded the bus to leave, I looked back at the school with a mixture of relief, regret, and wisdom. I knew the story of that year would stay with me forever, a reminder that our actions shape not only our lives, but the lives of everyone around us.
If this story stirred something inside you, don't keep it to yourself. Like, comment, share, and subscribe for more African stories.